Today we will see about the coordination compounds. Is a coordination compounds are a special class of compound in which the metal atoms or ions are bonded to a number of anions or neutron molecules. In modern technology, these compounds are called coordination compounds, and in the coordination compounds are also called as complex compounds. And when we have written a coordination compound, or if we have discussed a coordination compound, in a coordination compound there should be a third bracket, and that third bracket indicates that it is a coordination compound, and it will contain a metal atom and some anions or some neutron molecules along with that metal atoms, and they are joined by a coordinate covalent bond. Then they are called as a coordination compound. And these the coordination compounds uses we use in various ways. Now we'll see about the difference between double salt and a coordination complex. This is the difference between double salt and a coordination compounds. In a double salt, they exist only in the solid state and they dissociate into the constituent species in their solutions. Again, they lose their identity in dissolved state, and their properties are essentially the same as those of the constituent species. In double salt, the metal atoms or ion exhibit normal valency. So one example of double salt is ferrous sulfate, ammonium sulfate 6 times of H2O. So when it decomposes in water, you will get ferrous ion, sulfate ion and ammonium ions in water. So like this one, in a double salt, we have 2 cations and 1 anion. Then it is called as a double salt. Clear? So if it is a double salt, compulsory there should be 2 cation and 1 anions. Whereas in a complex compound, they retain their identity in solid as well as in the solution state, and they do not lose their identity in dissolved state. That means when they dissolve in water, the ionization is only in some few parts, okay, not in the whole ions. Whereas in case of double salt, all the substances goes into ions. This is what the difference between double salt and the coordination compounds. And the properties are different from those of the constituent. Say for example, K4FeCN6. On this we have K4. K4 is called as this cations part, and FeCN4 6 times, that is an anion part. So here anion part will not be ionized, and only the cationic part and anionic part group together. Cationic part is ionized and anionic part is ionized, but again this Fe does not ionize. Clear? As it is a complex compound, Fe and CN6 will be stay together. Clear? So this part is your coordination part. Clear? So like this one, in a coordination compound, the number of negative ions or molecules surround the central atom is beyond its normal valency. So the negative ion or molecules surrounded the central metal atom here is occupying all the valencies. Okay, that means suppose 4 valency are there, 4 valency is substituted. 4 valency is used to make the bond along with this neutron atom or ions. Clear? Here all the valencies of Fe is used to join with Cn in case of K4FeCN6. समझ में ना? So like this one, all the ions will be bind along with the others neutral atom or ions. Okay, clear? So this is what the difference between coordination compound and double salt. So what is the difference between double salt and coordination compound was already in the board exam. Along with the examples, you need to understand it. Compound. So in this picture we have discussed about the double salt and coordination compound. So in a double salt, that is potash alum, when we dissolve in water, then it ionizes as 2Ka plus and 2 times of Al, 3 plus ions, and 4 times of SO4, 2 minus ions, and 24 times of water. That means all the substances become ionized in case of double salt. Okay, whereas in the coordination compound, coordination compounds are in the molecular compound, they retain their identity even when it dissolves in water. Say potassium ferrocyanide, which is a coordination compound, when dissolved in water, it does not give the usual taste of Fe2 plus ion and Cn1 minus ions. So that indicates that FeCN6 4 minus, that anion part does not dissociate into ion again. Okay, so here the formula itself we have already known here. Complex compound that have complex ions are called as a complex compound, as the central ions in the complex ion forms dative or coordinate covalent bond with the species surrounding it. Complex ions are also known as coordinate ions, and hence the corresponding compounds are known as a coordinate compounds. As I have already told that in a complex compound, the link is coordinate covalent bond. Clear? The link is coordinate covalent bond, and the methyl atom, that is here M is the methyl atom, and others LL are nothing. It may be negative ions or it may be a neutral molecules in the picture. Okay, so this M and L, in between the M and N, there should be a coordinate covalent bond. So a coordinate covalent bond means helping one another, means that one group have fixed number of electrons, that is 8, and another have least number of electrons. So one will produce electron and share with the another, yeah, in order to get the octet structures. That type of bonds is called as a coordinate covalent bond. In a coordinate covalent bond, one which produce electrons are called as what? Donor, and the one which take electrons are called as a acceptor. So while writing the formula, there should be an arrow mark from donor to acceptor, which was there in your class 11. Okay, so this is what we have seen here in case of complex compound. So in case of complex compound, always you must remember that in the center of the complex there should be a metal. There should be a metal. That metal we call as a central metal atoms. That center we call as a central metal atoms. And the other part which satisfy the balances of the central metal atom by making a coordinate covalent bond, that we call as a ligands. Clear? Warner's coordination theory explained the formation of complex compounds, and it was the first successful explanation and become famous as the coordination theory of the complex compound, which are known as a Warner's coordination theory. So what is the useful of Warner's coordination theory? That is nothing. It explains how the complex compounds are formed. That will be explained by Warner's coordination theory. कुछ भी नहीं पूछेगा. In the explanation, in the exam, this part is important for the exam point of view. What are the postulates of Warner's coordination theory? It is important for the exam, and it was already in the board exam also for 2 marks. Okay. So in the Werner's coordination theory, the first part is the central metal atom or ions in a coordination compound exhibit 2 types of valency. Okay. That means in a metal atom which is there in the coordination compound will always have 2 types of valency. First is what we call as a primary, the second one is called as a secondary. This is the first postulate of Werner's coordination theory. Clear? So in the second postulate, primary valencies are ionizable. These primary valencies are ionizable and corresponds to the number of charges on the complex ions. Primary valencies apply equally well to simple salt and to the complex and are satisfied by negative ions. So this is the second postulate of Werner's coordination theory. That means the ionizable part of a complex compound, okay, that is what we call as a प्राइमरी वैलेंसी बोलते हैं उसको. ठीक है, एक कॉम्प्लेक्स कंपाउंड के बीच में जो आयोनाइज करता है उसको हम लोग क्या बोलता है, प्राइमरी वैलेंसी बोलते हैं. ओके, तो प्राइमरी वैलेंसी जो उसने क्या होता है बोला, नंबर ऑफ चार्ज देता है कॉम्प्लेक्स आयन का. हाँ, प्राइमरी वैलेंसी मीन्स आपका पोटेशियम फेरोसाइनाइड में क्या है, FeCN6 तो जो है 4 माइनस कैरी करता था ना, तो इसका मतलब क्या है कि ए का प्राइमरी वैलेंसी कितना है, 4 माइनस है. समझ में ना, तो ऐसा करके ये होता है बोलते हैं. तो चार्ज ऑफ द कॉम्प्लेक्स आयन, ओके, प्राइमरी वैलेंसी इंडिकेट्स द चार्ज ऑफ द कॉम्प्लेक्स आयन एंड प्राइमरी वैलेंसीज कौन सा होना चाहिए बोला, प्राइमरी वैलेंसी होगा बोलने से नेगेटिव आयन होगा बोल के बोला. ठीक है, ऑल द प्राइमरी वैलेंसीज आर ऑफ वन ऑफ नेगेटिव आयंस ओनली. क्लियर, समझ में ना. तो ऐसा करके प्राइमरी वैलेंसी रहता है. सपोज हियर इन द पिक्चर CO, cobalt, 3 types of chlorine is there, is no 6 molecule of NH3. So when you see the picture, you have seen that there are 2 lines. Okay, one is satisfied by dotted line, another one is deep line. Okay, all the NH3s are joined by deep line, is no, and all the Cl are joined by dotted line, is no. So all these dotted lines are nothing primary valency. Clear? So primary valency are written by dotted lines, whereas secondary valencies are satisfied by a deep line. Clear? So when you see the picture, you need to understand which one is primary valency, which one is secondary valency. So all the secondary valencies are non-ionizable part. All the secondary valencies are non-ionizable part of the complex. Okay.
Second postulate.
In the third postulate here, we have already done. There are 2 valencies. That is the first, and second is primary valencies are satisfied by ionizable part. Okay. In the third, secondary valence is corresponding to the valencies that a metal atom और आयंस टुवर्ड्स द न्यूट्रॉन मोलिक्यूल, जो न्यूट्रॉन मोलिक्यूल के साथ ज्वाइन करता है, और नहीं तो क्या है, नेगेटिव आयंस के साथ ज्वाइन करता है इन द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ ए कॉम्प्लेक्स आयंस. ओके, कॉम्प्लेक्स आयन बनाने के लिए आइदर नेगेटिव और न्यूट्रॉन मोलिक्यूल के साथ ज्वाइन करने वाला वैलेंसीज जो उसको क्या बोलते हैं, सेकेंडरी वैलेंसी. इन द एग्जांपल आई हैव ऑलरेडी टोल्ड दैट NH4, so that is NH3, it is a neutron molecule, so it is of secondary valency. Okay, secondary valencies are directional. Always remember, secondary valencies are directional, means direction देगा बोल के बोला. Okay, so a complex has a particular shape. So we can ask why a complex compound have a particular shape. So you need to write secondary valencies are directional. Because of that, a complex compound always will have a particular shape. Okay, the number and arrangement of the ligands in the spaces determine the stereochemistry of the complex. Stereochemistry means your optical rotation. Okay, that will be explained by the your arrangement of the ligand in the space. So again, always recall that secondary balances of the metal atom gives the coordination number. So sometimes we may ask, find out the coordination number of the given complex. So this is also important, you must note it. We'll go to the drawback of Warner's coordination theory. Drawback only. Drawback only. So drawback first, you write it. It does not explain why only certain elements form coordination compounds. Okay, that means generally coordination compounds are formed by only d block elements in the periodic table. Okay, why it is? Why not S? Why not P? That cannot be explained by Warner's coordination theory. Okay, and second is, it does not explain why the bond in coordination compound have directional properties. Okay, डायरेक्शन क्यों बताता है वो एक्सप्लेन नहीं किया है वो क्यों. Okay, and in the third point, it does not explain the color and magnetic and optical properties of the complex. Okay, it does not explain why coordination compounds are of color and what is the magnetic properties of that compound and what are the optical properties of the complexes. That cannot be explained by Warner's coordination theory. Okay, now let us discuss the first terminologies that we call as ligands. The molecules or ions which are coordinate to the metal atom or ions that we call as a ligands. Okay, ligands means जो सेंट्रल एटम का साथ जो कंबाइन किया वाला ग्रुप जो है उसको क्या बोलते हैं, लिगांड्स बोलते हैं. ओके, लिगांड कैन बी नेगेटिव आयंस, लिगांड कैन बी पॉजिटिव आयन और लिगांड में बी न्यूट्रन मोलिक्यूल्स. ओके, एंड लिगांड्स आर जनरली इलेक्ट्रॉन डोनर्स. लिगांड्स आर जनरली electron donors. Okay, that is why we call ligands are Lewis basic base, or central metal atoms or ions is what, Lewis acid. Okay, there. So central metal atoms are the acceptor and ligands are the donor. So we have a simple idea about the ligands here. So here what we know is that ligands are the ions which can joined with the central metal atoms or ions, and ligand may be a neutron ions, or means the neutron molecules having neutron molecules having lone pairs. Okay, clear? Suppose ammonia NH3 have one, nitrogen have two, means one lone pair, so nitrogen can behave as a ligands in case of NH3. Okay, like this one, it may be neutron molecule, it may be positive ions, or it may be negative ions. Okay, if it is of negative, then we call as a negative ligand. If it is of positive, we call as a positive ligands, or if it is of neutron, we call as a neutron ligands. Okay, yeah. So always ligands may have extra electrons or lone pairs. That is why we call as a Lewis base. Ligands are Lewis base. And now let us see about the types of ligands. Number one, mono or unidentate ligands. Okay, that means if there is only one donor atoms, if there is only one donor atoms, then it is called as a monodentate ligands or unidentate ligands. Clear? If there is more than one donor atom, okay, then it is called as a polydentate or multidentate ligand. Clear? So in case of here, you can see it, the in case of NH3, only nitrogen can donate electrons, is na? So it is of monodentate ligands. Clear? Whereas in case of nitro group, NO2, okay, so N also have lone pair, O is also have lone pair. Clear? Okay, N also have lone pair and O is also have lone pairs. So if there is two lone pairs are there, is na? So your methyl atom can join either from N or O. Clear? Your methyl atom can join either from what? N or from O of the NO2. समझ में आ गया? तो इसीलिए उसको क्या बोला bidentate ligands. Clear? Okay. So if a ligand has two or more donor atoms, okay, if a ligand has two or more donor atoms, the complex is from only one donor atom is attached to the metal atom, then it is called as a ambidentate ligands. Okay, so ambidentate ligands are nothing, ligands which have two donor atoms. Okay, a ligand which can join with the central metal atom in two different ways, then it is called as a ambidentate ligands. समझ में आया? Okay, so in case of writing such ligands, you need to express the joining also. Okay, here nitrito N in the picture you have seen that nitrito N means that this is nitro group but join with the N. Clear? Nitrito O, that means the joining should be on O. समझ में ना? Okay, clear? So like this we need to give nitrito O means here this picture number 2 is wrong. Okay, clear? So it should be joined with this O. O double bond O, then single bond N. Then, that means your picture I will show here. This picture number 2, you can draw this picture. Say M join with O, then N, then double bond O. This is nitrito O. Like this you need to draw it. And nitrito means picture number 1 is correct, but picture number 2 is wrong. So picture number 2 you can draw as M, then here O, then single bond N, then double bond O. So you can draw as like that. And this one you can see it in your page number 247. Like this one, these are your ambidentate ligand. Another ambidentate ligand in your textbook is your thiocyanate. M can join with S, then we call as a thiocyaneto S. Okay? S में M join with N, and then C, then S, then we call as a thiocyaneto N. So like this one, on which part it joined, you need to express while naming the ambidentate ligands. So let us see again. Here is the examples of your monodentate ligands or unidentate ligands. One donor atom or one point of attachment and can coordinate with the metal atom at only one side of the complex, then it is called as a what? Unidentate ligands. Okay, example is water. Here water is what? It can join with O only, so only one joining is there, that is why it is called as a what? Monodentate ligand. Same thing like that. एक जो डोनर साइड है उसमें ही ज्वाइन करें. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट इज अबाउट द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड इज अबाउट द polydentate ligands. In case of oxalato, here in the picture you have seen that in case of oxalato there are two O's. On this two O you can join with one another. Okay, one O is here, you can join, or you can join here. So two donor atoms is here, is not? That is why it is of polydentate ligands. Okay. In case of ethylene diamine, in case of ethylene diamine also 2n is there, is no? Through that 2n, the metal atom can join, okay? Or diacetyl dioxin. Here also 2n is there. Through that you can join it, is it not? Like this one, all these are polydentate ligands only. Okay?
아시리 벤진기 그노도는 저.
Nati. Full compound nati bema.
아, 무슨 디그레야.
Okay. Entrance in the lakwa madi lakwa. These are about the your polydentate ligands. If you want to draw, you can draw it. I will wait 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes, you can draw these polydentate ligands. All these ligands in short only you will get in the book also. So you try to draw all these pictures. Suppose if En is there, that means you need to draw the second figure. Okay? एग्जाम कोई कोई फॉर्मूला में En सिर्फ लिखेगा विद इन ब्रैकेट में. इसका मतलब ये पिक्चर ड्रॉ करना है आपको, ये इसको बाहर करना चाहिए. ओके, से सपोज DIPY बिल के फर्स्ट ब्रैकेट के अंदर में डाल दिया ना, इसका मतलब ये पिक्चर आपको ड्रॉ करना चाहिए. समझ में ना? तो इसीलिए हाँ तो that is why we need to understand all these pictures. So you draw it. The definition of coordination number is number of ligand atom bonded directly to the central metal atom or ion, that we call as a coordination number. Now, specification for given metal ion in a particular oxidation. Now, let us see it here in the picture. So, CONH3 6 times, then plus ions is there. Here, your CO will join with ammonia 6 molecules. So, it is of this coordination number is 6. Clear? Like this one, AgNO3 2 times, here coordination number is 2. In case of COEN3, which I told now, okay, En is there in short condition, okay, that indicates that. Oh, now here your coordination number is 3 only, not 6. The last one, ये लास्ट का भी थोड़ा गलती है, उसमें से CN का कोऑर्डिनेशन नंबर 3 होना चाहिए, 6 लिखा गया इसमें. Let us see the structures based on the coordination number. So this structure is also important. Okay, if coordination number is 2, the structure should be linear. Structure should be linear. If coordination number is 4, then the structure of the this coordination compound would be tetrahedral or square planar. टेट्राहेड्रल मीन्स D10 इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कन्फिगरेशन होने से टेट्राहेड्रल रहेगा, D5 होने से स्क्वायर प्लेनर रहेगा. ओके, क्लियर? व्हेयरएज इफ कोऑर्डिनेशन नंबर इज 5, देन द स्ट्रक्चर विल बी ट्राइगोनल बाइपिरामिडल और स्क्वायर पिरामिड. ठीक है सर. थैंक यू सर. बाइपिरामिडल और स्क्वायर पिरामिड. If coordination number is 6, then the structure would be octahedral. Next is about the complex ions. A complex ion has a metal ion at its center with a number of other molecules or ions surrounding it. Then it is called as a complex ions. So here you have seen that in the first figure, Fe2O 6 times 3 plus ions. Okay, so here the Fe is surrounded by 6 water molecules, isn't it? Okay, so here it is a complex ions. Clear? So like this, a complex ion will have a central metal atom along with ligands, okay, and having the charge. Then it is called as a. Next is about the coordination entity. The definition of coordination entity is like this one: metal atoms or ions bonded to a fixed number of ions or molecule, then it is called as a coordination entities. So hold the pictures here, COCl3 NH3 three times third bracket. On that, now CO is the central metal atom which bonded with 3 chlorines and 3 ammonia molecules, is na? Okay, so it is called as a coordination entity. Whole altogether is called as a coordination entity. Okay, that means if all the spaces are in the bracket, then the part which is in the bracket are called as a coordination entities. Clear? Okay, जो थर्ड ब्रैकेट के अंदर में पूरा रहे ना, ये सबको ऑल टुगेदर क्या बोलेगा, बोला कोऑर्डिनेशन एंटाइटीज बोलेगा. So this is a coordination sphere. A coordination in a coordination sphere, the central metal atoms or ions and the ligands attached to it are enclosed in a square bracket and are collectively termed as the coordination spheres. Okay, the central metal atoms or ions and the ligands attached to it enclosed within a square bracket are called as a what? Coordination sphere. The ionizable parts are written outside the bracket. Clear? The ionizable part are written outside the bracket and they are called as a counter ions. They are called as a counter ions. Here in this picture, CONH3 6 times, 3 times of Cl minus is there, is now. Okay, so 3 times of Cl minus is a what we call as a counter ions. This one 3 times of Cl minus is what we call as a counter ion. So when this whole species is dissolved in water, then 3 Cl molecule along with this CONH3 6 times will be ionized. So the one which is ionizable part, that is negative part, is nothing, counter ion. So always a counter ion will be a negative or a positive ions. For today, up to this only we will discuss. Thank you.